approve the consent agenda.
I second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. If no further discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Thank you. First item of business is Autumn Glen 3rd Edition Street Improvements. Suzanne.
Yes, Commissioners. The developer of the Autumn Glen 3rd Edition is ready to move forward with the first phase or first portion of the paving in the 3rd Edition. I think, there we go. And when I speak about the first phase, that's everything that's shown in a color, either green or orange on the screen here. This area for all the lots in gray already has water and sewer. Utilities have been in the ground for several years, since I believe 2008. That's kind of prior to the downturn in the housing economy. And the entryway is so long that portion, there's not a lot to assess to. And so this is what we would call low-hanging fruit for us to be able to open up some more lots available for development. And we know that is one of the items that the city has been discussing and talked about for some of the funds that we have available to pay towards the entry road. And so what you have in your packet this evening is a petition from the developer, and the developer is Ron Harder. The petition would include paving all of the streets that you see here, and typically it's the intersections that the city pays the portion of the intersection, pays the intersection costs, and then everything else, and that's just a city policy. Everything else is paid by the benefit district, which would be those lots shown in gray. In this petition, it has the city at large paying for the entry road, the orange portion coming in from Kansas up to that first intersection, plus the intersections. And this is the stage where you receive the petition, and in this instance, we would ask that you would receive and approve the petition, and then the next step would be to consider the engineering agreement with MKEC engineers. That is who the developer has selected to prepare the paving plans for the paving that you see here, and we would then move forward with that and bring back to you when it's ready to be put out to bid.
What's different about this development that he wants us to pay for that street instead of just the intersections?
Go ahead.
So you may recall when we originally knew we were going to be awarded some of the ARPA funds, we had tried to prioritize some of the, as Suzanne mentioned, the lowest hanging fruit. What is the most ready? What's the most developable for both single family, multifamily, those kinds of things. And so you guys had asked us to set aside a certain amount of money and or up to to pay for the project and or up to a certain dollar figure. I think you had said not to exceed $200,000. And because, as Suzanne mentioned, this already has water and sewer to it, it's just the streets. And again, this is just the fire station number 3 is just up here to the north, just off the screen. So also this will eventually wind around and will wind up this way to the north and will go into Cottonwood Crossing as well.
Thank you. I just wanted everybody to hear that.
Yeah, absolutely. Mhm.
So if you are in favor of moving forward, we would ask that you receive and approve the petition.
That's just a simple motion.
Yes.
Okay. I move to approve.
I second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second to approve. No further discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Thank you.
So that was item A.
Yep.
Then item B, we would ask that you consider the engineering contract with MKEC. Because once we have a petition in place, then the petition would pay for the engineering that's a part of the paving project itself.
Yes. So we'll need a motion to approve that.
I would make that motion.
I'll second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second to approve the engineering contract with MKEC. If no further discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, item number 7 is in regards to the stream buffer. Suzanne, you're taking this one as well.
Yes. In May of 2017, the Planning Commission and the City Commission both approved our current stream buffer ordinance. And I attached in the packet all the information we provided at that time. While we have been enforcing this ordinance, staff has recognized that there's some text amendments that needed to take place and some changes just for clarification. And so on May 2nd, we took this to the Planning Commission, took it back to them, the changes. They approved it unanimously, and now we are asking you to approve the changes that we have in the packet. And a lot of the changes are around when you get ready to measure and determine where the outer zone and the inner zone is and where that lands. And we put things into tables and charts. And I believe that the ordinance that's in the packet shows some of the changes. And I think that you were provided additional, an updated one this evening. Is that right?
That's right. There was just some repealer language
Okay.
to clarify, but that's right. No substantive changes to the
Okay.
ordinance.
So you have two actions this evening, if you would, and let me back up just a little bit so that you also know the reason that we considered this. This is one of the items of our stormwater MPDES permit. We have multiple things that we have to do to be in compliance with our permit, and one of those things was to have a stream buffer ordinance in place. Remember, we are tasked with sampling from certain creeks in town once a quarter, and we have to keep track of that information as to what type of contaminants and the level that we're seeing in that creek. And we are the ones, we, the city of Newton, are responsible for the quality of the water. And so a stream buffer ordinance helps to keep the area along the stream itself a little bit wilder and woollier so that the water that's running through that vegetation can help clean the water as overland flow that comes into the creek itself. That's a very simplistic explanation, but that's why it's here. So we would ask that you receive the recommendation from the Planning Commission and then consider the ordinance that's amending it. And one other thing I did forget to tell you, we did add one creek to this, and that is Jester Creek, because it is in the area of the KLP where we are looking at expansion. So we went ahead and added that one on because we know there's going to be extenuating circumstances for anything that's going to run off in that area. We want to make sure that it's covered under the stream buffer ordinance.
Okay. Thank you.
I move we approve receiving the recommendation from the Planning Commission.
I second that.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. If no further discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Thank you. And an ordinance number, Denise?
It would be 5073-22.
I'd move that we approve ordinance 5073-22, amending the zoning from, wrong one, for the
Stream buffer ordinance.
stream buffer ordinance. Moved on me.
I will second that.
Okay, there's a motion and a second for ordinance number 5073-22. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Thank you. All right, item number 8, Planning Commission and Zoning Amendment. Suzanne?
Yes. Okay, I think we have some visual aids for you on the screen as well this evening. For commission review and consideration is an application for a zoning district amendment submitted to the North Newton Area Planning Commission by the applicant, Brian Legale Holmes, for property that is located on Country Club Drive between Kansas and Southeast 14th Street. It's something that you would know as Fox Ridge Country Golf Course. Used to be a country club years ago back in that area. They were asking for a zoning change for the area. I think Kelly was highlighting it there a minute ago. They are switching from the current RS zoning and C2 to an R3. The little dot, the little green dot shows the little box up there that was a C2 or is a C2 today. And then the balance there is RS, and they're wanting it to be R3. I'm sorry, R3. Let me make that very clear. The Planning Commission considered the application for the zoning district amendment on May 2nd at their commission meeting, and it was passed, and I believe it was a unanimous vote. We had several people that spoke to this from the public in the area. I believe there were 7 different individuals, and some of the discussion, some of the things that they brought up, they wanted to, they had concerns about drainage and the type of multifamily that would be going in. They also had questions about access. All of those things will be addressed in a plat, but the zoning is just talks about whether it's going to be the C2 and the RS, or would it be the R3? So the R3 is what's being requested, which is a multifamily. And what type of multifamily is not decided in the zoning process. It could be anything that is approved in an R3 zone, okay? You are asked to receive the recommendation from the Planning Commission this evening and to approve the zoning district amendment from the current City of Newton designation of RS and C2 to an R3. Then you would consider an ordinance to amend the zoning district from the current RS and C2 to an R3. So it's a two-step process as well.
Now you have R1 in there. Is that the same thing as, you're saying RS? Is it?
This says RS, which is
The memo says RS, the agenda says
The
R1.
cover said
Oh,
R1,
so
sorry
I'm
about that.
looking at
It's just a typo in the
Oh,
agenda, I'm
it's a
sorry.
typo, I'm sorry.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
And also, as a reminder, we haven't done one of these in a while, but remember for us, for residential, an R3 also will allow for an R2, which would be a duplex, R1, single family, anything that's already allowed in RS, which is what it is now, which is typically single family, but a little bit larger lot size. So to Suzanne's point, we don't necessarily know what, but there are multiple options that could be considered. And there are some example homes in the packet that were provided by the developer. I believe these are things that individual, that company has built in other areas for reference.
I move that we approve the recommendation from the Planning Commission for this item.
I will second that.
Okay, there's a motion and a second to receive the recommendation of the Planning Commission. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, same sign. Okay,
And Mayor, before you consider the ordinance, I would ask you to open it up for a public hearing, that anyone that would want to be heard about the zoning change, you give them that opportunity.
There was a formal public hearing at the Planning Commission, but just it's always good form if there's someone here who might want to speak to it.
well, we will open this up to any public comment that would like to come, or anyone from the public that would like to come and comment on this zoning change. Okay, time is closed. Thank you. Denise, can we have an
Sure.
ordinance number?
That would be 5081-22.
I need a motion and a second. for
I would
that
move we
ordinance.
approve ordinance 5081-22.
I'll second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Suzanne, you have number 9 as well, Sand Creek Station 4th Edition improvements, and there's several items here.
Yes. Okay, this one's going to take a bit longer because there's several items associated with this. Sand Creek Station 4th Edition improvements is at Sand Creek Station, the golf course housing development right off of Anderson. We should have a map here. And so when you turn in onto Wheat Ridge, like you're going into the golf course, if you turn immediately to your right, which would be to the north, you're going to hit Casey. I'm sorry. Wow. Casey, or I think maybe it's just called Casey. And the area that we're looking at that was just recently replatted with Sand Creek Station 4th Edition, they just separated into a little bit smaller lots here so they could build some additional structures. And so what we need you to approve this evening, and they brought before us, are petitions for the water extension, the sewer extension, and the paving extension. This will pave Casey Circle, and Bobtail, and tie everything into Bobtail as well. The different items that you have in your packet for the water line, there's a resolution finding it advisable. You have plans and specifications for all the projects. So first on the list is the water line. Then you have the resolution for the water line. Then you have an ordinance that establishes the water district. And the water district is the area, the benefit district that's going to pay for the water line improvements. The same is true with the sewer district. It would be the lots that are going to pay for it, and then the paving as well. So we need to kind of chug down all of these items and approve each one of those individually. The plans and specifications are ready to go out to bid, and the very last item is to set a bid date of June 21st at 11:30 a.m. as the date and time to receive bids. We're bidding all of this together because it's a smaller project, and we think that we might have a contractor that might be interested in all of it. We may end up with 3 different contractors, but we'll bid it all at the same time, so that if one would like to, they can.
Sure.
If
All
you
right. Oh, go ahead.
If you have questions, I'm happy to answer them. Otherwise,
We'll start.
yes.
Okay, our first item is to receive plans and specifications for the water line improvements to serve Sand Creek 4th Edition. We'll need a motion and a second for that.
So moved.
First, second, either way.
I second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second to receive plans and specifications. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, same sign. Thank you. Item B is to consider a resolution finding advisable and authorizing the water line improvements.
So moved.
Would you like a
Oh,
number?
yeah, we probably need a number.
Sure. Okay.
Resolution number,
I-1197.
Okay, there's a motion to approve resolution number I-1197. Is there a second?
I second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Thank you. Ordinance number for C.
5082-22.
Okay, we'll need a motion and a second for ordinance number 5078-22.
Make that motion.
I'll second.
There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, same sign. Thank you. Item D is to receive plans and specifications for sewer improvements.
I make that motion.
second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Thank you. Ordinance number for E.
Do we want the resolution? We don't have the resolution on here. We
no.
need to have a resolution on here to receive for the sewer improvements.
Okay. So do we need
A resolution number for that, please.
Yes, it's I-1198.
I would make that resolution.
okay, there's a
I
motion.
second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Thank you. All right. Our next ordinance number,
Sure, 5083-22.
I move we approve 5083-22.
Aye, second.
there's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Okay, item F is to receive plans and specifications for paving improvements to serve Sand Creek 4th Edition.
I so move.
I second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Thank you. Resolution number for G.
I-1199.
I move we approve I-1199.
I'll second.
There's a motion and a second to approve resolution number I-1199. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Thank you. Last item is to set June 21st, 11:30 as the date and time to receive bids.
I so move.
I'll second.
Okay, thank you. There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Glad to see stuff still happening, so that's exciting. All right, item number 10. Chris, you're going to take this one. To consider resolution of consent authorizing Concrete Vaults to submit a zoning change application for their property.
For sure, and this comes on behalf of Concrete Vaults, Inc., who's submitted a zoning change application for property that they own at 901 Sharps. Essentially, this is not an approval of the zoning, but it's approval of the submission of the zoning application. That property is encumbered by IRBs, therefore the city has a property interest in the property. The owner has asked the city to provide that consent, that they move forward with asking for a zoning change, going through that process. The attached resolution is just a formal approval of providing that consent to go forward. Again, it doesn't approve the zoning change, but it approves them to move forward. And I do have one typo in the resolution, just that I'll clean up. on the first whereas, City of Newton holds as opposed to hold. But I would stand for any questions that you guys have on this process. Just a procedural item. If you're okay with it, a motion to approve the resolution, and at some point you'll see this go through the zoning process.
I move we approve the resolution.
I,
G-1282.
That number.
I would second that.
Okay, there's a motion and a second to approve G-1282. Any further discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Thank you. We do have an executive session here in a bit, but we'll do citizens forum. There won't be any business done after citizens forum. So those of you who are here, if you don't want to stick around for the closing of the meeting, you don't have to, but we'll do citizens forum now, and there's one person signed up, Kenton McBroom. So if you want to come up and present, who also happens to be my son, so he is here to present something he came up with on his own. So if you want to, give each person one of those.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, those are cool.
I got one extra here, Ken.
You need to keep one. Okay, we'll share, that's fine.
Hi, my name is Kenton McBroom. I live at 347 Victoria Court here in Newton. I'm here tonight to present a new idea for our parks, a Braille learning pad. I saw a Braille learning pad on TikTok. A blind kid was at the park with his mom, and he was learning his ABCs on the Braille learning pad at a city park. The video showed him speaking his ABCs, and he was reading them through the Braille. When I saw the video, I thought that we should have something like this here in Newton at most of our used parks. The video made me feel good that this boy was able to be included in park activities even though he was blind. Braille learning pads help kids who are not blind understand what Braille is and help them learn Braille. It could help understand how difficult it is to read Braille. I did some research and I found that Braille learning pads are available for city parks. They vary in price, but I know that it is a good city. I know that if the city is not willing to purchase the Braille learning pads, that I could work with local organizations to help with the money, if the city would allow them to be placed in the parks.
All right. Any questions, comments?
Job.
What a cool idea. I've seen one of these before, Kenton, and they're really neat.
They are cool. I've seen ones that expand on it and have the braille as well as the shapes and the animals maybe in the area and everything. It's really cool. Thank you.
So typically what happens, anytime someone comes up for citizens forum, is we don't take business on it tonight, but maybe we could choose to have city staff look into some options for us. I see Suzanne's already taken notes, so assuming that's going to happen.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you for coming to present. He did come up with that on his own, so. If somebody would like to move us into an executive session,
How long?
You're the
20,
best at that,
20,
Kathy.
20 minutes.
20 minutes, is that what we need? Okay.
Oh, yes. Yes, you can. Go ahead and come up. Yep. Just state your name and address for us.
All right. My name is Philip Glass. I live at 925 East 10th Street. And I was just kind of curious, and I've been asking about my neighbors about this recycling. Is there any way the city of Newton could go back like it did with the Harvey County as we first started out before this other company got involved? That we could open this recycling outfit up back out here, and either the city of Newton or the Harvey County could haul the stuff off instead of having an independent contractor.
Yeah, and Philip, thanks for coming to talk to us. My suggestion would be to talk to the county, because the county is actually the ones that owns that facility out there. So we were, essentially, the city of Newton was essentially a customer to Harvey County.
Oh, okay.
At that facility. So it wasn't our decision to close it. We were forced
I
to
know it wasn't,
discontinue.
but-
Yeah, we looked at some other options to take recycling outside of the city, but it was very cost prohibitive. And to transfer our recycling to another community, my suggestion, they meet on Tuesday mornings at 9 o'clock. Is that right, Kelly? At 9 o'clock at the courthouse.
Is it every Tuesday or?
I believe every Tuesday at 9 o'clock.
Oh, okay.
And they have the same thing. You can go there and talk to them. It's a learning process for all of us. So many people don't know that essentially we were a customer of the county out there.
Oh, okay.
So we did not have an option to continue to recycle at that landfill.
Okay, I thought you were parents. In other words, you were,
Correct me if I'm
were-
wrong, but we were not, correct? We did not
Okay.
have any ownership in that location out there. No.
no, I thought by the partnership, okay.
Unfortunately, no, we don't. So it would be really a county, I mean, I appreciate you coming to talk to us. I just want to get you to the right people.
Well, that's
So,
fine. No,
yeah.
I was just thinking that, go back to the original marriage of the city and the county, the city take it out there and the county take care of it, and have county people haul it off without adding a third party.
Yeah, I don't know what that looks like in the future. I don't think the county has any interest in going back into the recycling business, but if they were, I wouldn't say that that's, I mean, we'll explore all options if it becomes open again.
I was gonna say, it seems like it, where we spent so much time, which I liked, of not taking recyclables out there, but it seems like we've defeated ourselves by going back. All of a sudden, this
Yeah.
time we've wasted recycling when we go back to throwing it all away.
Yeah, Suzanne, do you have anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, the one thing I would add, the county owned the facility, but part of the reason they made the decision they did to go ahead and close the facility is because it was going to cost them a significant amount to transfer the recyclables over to the facility that was going to take the product in the end. They were increasing their tipping fee to significantly, so that it was going to increase the rates for everybody. And this way, if you're wanting to recycle with the private hauler, they're taking them to another location. And the county did not have the ability to do that without adding a bunch of staff and equipment, which then also would have raised those rates. So it was all about the financial cost of it is why they made that decision. But like the mayor has said, going and speaking with the county about it, they're the ones who actually own the facility.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
Yeah, well, thank you for coming to talk to us, Philip. Okay,
So about 10 till 9?
That'd be great.
that'd be great.
Until 8, actually.
Actually,
Oh, gosh, sorry.
Don't make that a
No,
motion.
we don't want that. Okay. I move that the city commission recess into executive session to conduct discussions with legal counsel. The justification for closing the meeting is to consult with the city attorney to discuss matters privileged under the attorney-client relationship. And the time and place at which the open meeting shall resume is 7:50 PM here in commission chambers.
There's a motion.
Second.
All right, there's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, same sign. No further business to discuss, so meeting adjourned.
I just want to say something to you all right quick.
Oh, go ahead, Donna.
We're going to change the way you get your, if it's okay with you, you guys get paid usually at the end of the month, once a month.
We get paid?
Well,